Oh, thank you very much, Matt. And we've got to say as well, happy 100th birthday to Jim.
Oh, happy birthday, Jim.
Now, there's lots more to come tonight. Vernon, Kay and Al Murray are live from France with the grandson of a D-Day veteran sent on a special journey by his granddad to the beaches of Normandy.
Plus, the D-Day Darlings, the D-Day Juniors and the Central Band of the Royal British Legion are standing by for their show-stopping version of We'll Meet Again.
Right, now let's say hello to our next guest. It's the start of the brand new production of Birdsong. Please welcome Max Bowden. Now, Max, the Royal British Legion are calling us to keep the veterans' kind of stories alive, and that's a big reason of why you wanted to be a part of this World War I play, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the arts gives us accessibility to the history of our country in a way that maybe conversation can't. Seeing the human beings that actually served and their emotional capacity is what makes it so powerful. Ultimately, these heroes, yes, of course they're heroes, but they were men. It would have been me and you, you know? And their stories back home were so different, and not seeing their wives and their kids for so long, yet still fighting and trying to keep everyone, you know, the peace and the love between the comrades. So important. And I think Birdsong tells that story brilliantly.
Now, in the Arboretum, where we saw Matt there, one of the memorials is for the Royal Engineers. And, of course, Jack, the character that you play. We know you're a big fan, Fiona, of Birdsong.
Oh, Birdsong was one of my favourite novels of all time.
Oh,
it's the most amazing story. I can't wait to see it.
30-year anniversary.
Oh, it's going to be great.
So then Jack, Royal Engineer, they did such an important job. For those that don't know what that role entailed, just fill us in on that.
Their job was terrifying. Essentially, they were in like 3-foot tunnels going underneath the Bosch to try and win us the war and blow them up, which sounds brutal, but that was the nature of their job. So a lot of them were building the tube lines back in London and train lines up in the north. So the conditions that they were working and living in were horrendous. And at any point, you could meet in the middle with German soldiers and then hand-to-hand combat would take place. So the risks were huge, the conditions were poor, but they were paid more. So there was a bit of a rivalry between them and the infantry. But ultimately, again, they were all doing their best to keep their loved ones safe and keep freedom at bay.
So what is it that makes Jack, you know, such a special character to play?
I think it's the fact that he's always thinking about other people. The nature of trauma can make us kind of insular and internal, but Jack's all about making sure that everyone else around him is happy and supported. And even though his son at home is not very well, he's not sure what's going to happen with that, he's constantly trying to uplift everybody else, even in the most tragic of circumstances. And I think I still see veterans like that now. Yeah. You know, them really old school men who talk about their time with fondness in a way, because they know what they've done and they know the power of love essentially sets you free in a way.
And the comradeship between them.
Yeah, the camaraderie.
It's just, and you hear about, you know, like listening to the veterans there, you just get that sense so powerfully, don't you?
Yeah, and it's something that's really hard to understand in a society that's very different to what it was in wartime. But we can still look and we can learn and live through them experiences through art, which is beautiful. Yeah.
Well, this is the thing, because you've played a D-Day soldier before in a musical called Only the Brave.
Yeah.
You are a bit of a history buff, though, aren't you?
I like to think so.
You're not just saying the lines and learning the lines. You have a big interest in this area.
I do, yeah. I mean, me and my granddad used to watch the History Channel kind of every day growing up. So probably not quite a normal childhood, but I had such an interest in it. I always have, and military history in particular. So any projects like this, I always like to get my teeth into. You know, I feel like it's important to tell the stories. A lot of them we don't hear.
And it's a privilege to be able to tell the stories, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, I'm doing a dramatic implication of what happened. Yeah. But I can play the emotion, I can try and live the circumstances, but ultimately we're just trying to retell and reshape our view of what happened and the bravery of these men, you know. It's incredible.
100%. Thank you very much, Max. We can see Max touring in Birdsong from September, and the tickets are available now.